What's up, guys? This is Logan, and this YouTube channel is going to be about technology like artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and things like blockchain. So this video in particular, I want to talk about EOS and why I think it is going to crush Ethereum and be the largest blockchain project in the next coming years. So why do I think EOS is going to crush Ethereum? Well, I got 5 reasons that EOS is so far superior to Ethereum that there's no competition whatsoever. And the first is scalability. So Ethereum is currently running at full capacity right now, and it is just being bogged down by all the transactions that it is having to process, while BitShares and Steam, which is created by Dan Larimer, the same person who is writing the code for EOS, those two programs are currently running at less than 1% capacity. So EOS eliminates the CPU bottleneck by enabling programs to run in parallel. And that is how EOS is going to be superior in scalability to Ethereum. For Ethereum to be able to compete with EOS by transaction volume, they would have to completely rebuild the infrastructure and start from scratch. I think they would have to tear everything apart and start from zero in order to be as scalable as EOS. So the second reason why I think that EOS is better than Ethereum is the team. So first of all, you have block.one, which is finding VC partners to invest in the program. So you have Brendan Blummer, Dan Larimer, Brock Pierce, and all these guys are very reputable and respectable people, all in charge of EOS, all big contributors to the EOS project. And block.one is raising millions of dollars in venture capital to support thousands of decentralized applications to be built on the EOS platform. So I think that is going to create a huge surge of developers that are going to want to take part in this EOS platform, largely for a lot of reasons that I have yet to discuss. So Dan Larimer created the concept of a DAC. So a DAC is a decentralized autonomous corporation. So let's get into what that is. So a traditional corporation, you have a misalignment of incentives. The shareholders want the biggest ROI possible. Corporate wants the biggest salaries and bonuses possible. Employees want to be compensated as much as possible. So this creates a tug of war in incentives that does not benefit the end consumer in an optimal way. In a DAC, you suddenly have an alignment of incentives. So it is a peer-to-peer ownership model, and this eliminates the intervention of third parties, which bring unwanted overhead and control. So in a traditional corporation, you have to pay for the infrastructure, salaries, you have to give money to the shareholders. Conversely, in a peer-to-peer ownership model, like a DAC, the wealth is distributed among the community. So in a peer-to-peer ownership model, as a token holder, the more people who join the community, the more valuable your tokens become. In a traditional corporation, you are largely benefiting the incentives of the corporation or its shareholders. And that is why the concept of a DAC is potentially revolutionary in itself. This type of infrastructure that EOS developers are going to be building will be disrupting huge businesses like Airbnb, eBay, Uber, and possibly even Twitter or Facebook. And the next Twitter and Facebook will most likely be developed on platforms such as EOS. So the other reason, or the third reason that EOS is better than Ethereum is delegated proof of stake, or DPoS. In Ethereum, you have to pay gas fees for sending money. Like in Bitcoin, you have high transaction fees. But because of delegated proof of stake, or DPoS, you have much faster operational capacity, and you also maintain 0 transaction fees. So this is a huge advantage that EOS has over Ethereum, and potentially catastrophic for Ethereum once the EOS blockchain becomes released. So the fourth reason why EOS is superior to Ethereum is the coding language. Ethereum uses its own native coding language, Solidity, while EOS will support WebAssembly, which is currently the going standard in programming languages. This is going to attract a lot of developers because they already know how to code in WebAssembly, and if they wanted to do that same application on Ethereum, they would have to learn a separate coding language, Solidity. So that is going to attract a lot of developers to use EOS as opposed to Ethereum. And the fifth and most important reason I think that EOS will swallow Ethereum and completely annihilate it is the community. EOS has such a big, thriving community, and it's just unbelievable. If you go on Telegram or one of these platforms like Steemit, you'll find there is a huge number of supporters of Dan Larimer and the EOS community, as well as developers waiting to run their decentralized applications on EOS. So that is why I think EOS is the ultimate blockchain project, why I think it is going to be more successful than Ethereum. Once people start to find out that EOS is capable of doing all these things, I think you are going to see somewhere in the neighborhood of a 5 to 10x price increase within 2018.